So I don't really know how to start this, so we're just going to get right into it. But I just wanted to share kind of what we've been going through the past, I guess, 2 months now. I know I've been really distant in both my personal life and just work and social media, and it's people normally ask me, like, is it hard to share your life online? And have so many people involved. Typically it's not. Typically I have had no problem sharing my life, but this has been really hard and it's going to be really tough to share. But I definitely want to share what we've been through just in case it can help someone out there. Like, I didn't have many friends who had been through a miscarriage, and then the women that I have talked to have been so supportive, and I just want to be there for anyone who may be dealing with this. So we can just start from the beginning, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So,
kind of recap the last 2 months of our lives.
Yeah, so we very unexpectedly found out I was pregnant in Charleston.
We had just gotten back from Asia. We were home for a week. Went to Charleston middle of March.
Very unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So found out there, and we were just shocked at first, and then just went to total excitement and like the most the happiest we've ever been, ever. Just
run around Charleston looking for baby clothes, something as like a first little outfit for a baby, and we had a shoot planned.
I mean, we didn't do anything in Charleston. We basically just thought about this the whole time, and we had a shoot planned with a photographer in Charleston, and we basically just turned that into an announcement photo because we wanted something to give our parents when we got home, because we knew we'd be telling them soon. So we did those pictures, and
we just kind of talked and thought about life as it was going to be, right? Our whole lives had just changed unexpectedly. We weren't planning for this at all. We wanted to wait another year, but
yeah, I mean, it's something we always knew we wanted, just didn't think it was going to happen right away. But immediately we were just like, the timing was perfect, and it showed us just like how bad we want to be parents, and yeah. So we got home, and what happened after that? Everything's running together.
So we came home. We planned a way to tell our parents and like our closest friends, just to, you're not supposed to tell people too early because there's things that can happen that can cause problems or whatever. But we at least wanted to have the support of our family, whether everything was going to be great or not great.
And at the time, you don't think anything's going to be wrong.
No.
So we told our parents, his brothers, some of our closest friends, and everyone was over the moon. Like, we were going to be the first to have a baby, and like it's all everyone could think about. And I was really sick during that time too, so I was like very distant. We had already been traveling a ton since Asia, so I just felt like very distant. But I was like, it's okay. Like, everyone's gonna know soon. And I had like some cramping,
like a weird like lower right side pain.
I don't even remember when that was. It was whenever I was like around 6.5 weeks.
Yeah, 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Like
and
that.
We went to the ultrasound, and it was still really, really early. And we knew that. So
we had an ultrasound because we wanted to see if there was something wrong.
I was going to go to the ER, but basically it was too long of a wait. So we just waited and went in with my doctor. And like, from that ultrasound, I knew something was not quite right. Like, I just had a gut feeling, which is not like me because I'm normally like such a positive person. And
we could kind of read the body language of the sonographer and all that, and they're not allowed to tell you too much, but what she said just didn't seem positive.
And then hearing from my doctor, I mean, they were still positive just because it was so early. But basically, they were just saying that it was I don't know the technical terms.
They didn't see enough.
It was measuring behind, way behind. And sometimes you can have a heartbeat at 5 weeks. So the fact that there was still not one was definitely a little concerning. And then we had to wait 2 weeks to go back for another ultrasound, which was like the longest 2 weeks.
Torture.
Even though I like had something in the back of my mind that, I thought maybe something was wrong. Like, you don't ever really consider it. Like, it was in the back of my mind, but it's still going into that ultrasound, like,
it's hard to believe that you're going to get bad news.
Yeah, and I was so sick during that time, so like, I'm already not myself, and then throw all this stress and worry on top of it. Like, I was just sleeping, honestly, all day and so nauseous. Like, couldn't do any of my normal things, couldn't be around people. But I did go to the Reward Saw conference, and, you're around all your friends, and
you want to tell
everyone, and, like, half of my friends are pregnant, too, so, like...
But when you just didn't get great news the week before, it's, like, hard to even be excited to even go anywhere or do anything.
And I had some spotting, like, right before I left for the conference, but...
So then... She scheduled another ultrasound for when she got back, and that
it was already scheduled.
Oh, it was already scheduled. But that was that 2-week wait that we had to go through.
Yeah, so we got to that ultrasound, and, like, I was so anxious in the lobby, and, like, I think then I kind of just started to, like, prepare myself a little bit. And
Hunter has... I trust Hunter's gut over anything and everything in this world, and she didn't have a good feeling about everything, and I was just trying to stay positive and keep her mind positive and stress-free and happy, but I kind of just had this feeling that we weren't going to get good news from that ultrasound.
So we went to that ultrasound, and,
it was immediately the sonographer.
She was just like, there's no heartbeat, and, like, that's just, like, literally the worst thing to hear when you're going in and, like, hoping to see your baby for the first time and, like, hear a heartbeat, and, like, we couldn't see anything, and
just at 8.5 weeks. So at this point, there should be something.
No, it was 9 weeks, and basically there was nothing to be seen. There was a gestational sac, and you can see where it's supposed to be, but, like, nothing. So
what hit me the hardest in all that is that right before it was all over, she just said, "I'm sorry." And how do you even process that? It's horrible.
Yeah, it's awful. So we sat there because we didn't have a doctor's appointment for that day. It was just supposed to be an ultrasound to check on the progress. So I had to sit there for an hour until my doctor came in, and then it's just like all your worst
we didn't have any answers at that point. We were just sitting there. All we had was, "I'm sorry," from the sonographer, and we're sitting in a room by ourselves waiting for a doctor to come tell us.
And in the meantime, like, our family is waiting for us to call them and, like, tell them, the good news, because everyone thought everything would be fine. So we sat there for an hour, and then, my doctor was amazing, and they were amazing for getting us in when we didn't even have an appointment, but she just comes in and basically tells you your options. So it's like you go from
hoping that you get the options on what to do next to make this a great pregnancy.
Making your next appointment and, like, making sure you do all the right things, and then it's like, here's your options for
miscarrying a baby.
Yeah, and it's just like you hear that it happens to 1 in 4 women, but, like, I never in a million years thought this would happen. Like, I thought I would have problems getting pregnant because I've always had endometriosis, but, like, I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm 25 years old, like, I had really strong symptoms. Like, everyone tells you that's a great sign that you're having a strong pregnancy, and, like, all these things that we're, like, looking up. Like, even though in the back of my mind I had a bad gut feeling, like, you hope and pray that nothing's wrong. And, like, I thought it was just, first-time mom worries that everyone has. And so she comes in and basically confirms that, it's not a viable pregnancy, and tells us our options. And there's really no wrong or right decision. Like, it's just what's right for your family at the time. So we ended up going home to think about it.
Basically, they tell you that, there's 3 options. It's natural, it's with medication, or it's dilation and curettage to just kind of start and finish the whole process. And
there's no right or wrong way to do it. Like, it's just whatever's best for your family at the time. But, like, we were both, we went home and thought about it and prayed about it, slept on it, and for us, like, the DNC surgery was what was best at the time. Like, I had been so sick for now, at this point, it was 9 weeks, and so distant from family and friends, and just all over the place emotionally, that I just wanted to be able to move on and to
heal from
and start to try again. Like, there was no hope that pregnancy was going to continue. There was nothing recognizable on an ultrasound. Like, there was just, like, no hope. So, I mean, it could have taken up to
3 or 4 months for everything to be done.
Yeah, I mean, your body could still think you're pregnant for, months after that. And I honestly couldn't handle that.
It had already been such a roller coaster of excitement, and then just like the worst feeling that it's not going to be okay. And then it was like, okay, let's hold on to this hope that everything's okay. You've got an ultrasound in 2 weeks. Like, let's get to that and then see how everything is. And
yeah. So, we scheduled the appointment, the surgery, which is like, I mean, you're under anesthesia. I didn't know any of this. I mean, they explained it to me. I knew when I was going into it, but beforehand. So it's like an actual, what do you call it?
It's an outpatient procedure, surgery. Yeah.
And, I mean, the surgery went fine, but it's just so weird that you wake up and, like, you're not pregnant anymore. And, like, this has been consuming your mind for the past 2 months, and what feels like 6 months. Like, it feels, I mean, time goes, I can't even believe that this has all been a 2-month period. Yeah. So, like, emotionally, that's just really, like, shocking, I guess you'd say.
It's almost like our lives just kind of got put on hold for the last, 2 months, but at the same time, we've still been doing everything we've needed to do, but, like, just feel like I haven't been there, Like I just had blinders on through everything I've done. I've gone on work trips, and I've been with friends and doing awesome, fun things, but I just, you kind of forget about it, but then you think about it, and you're just like, I don't know. It just,
yeah, I mean, that's the craziest part is, like, you have to live life. Like, you have to live normal life. Like, I just...
Still got to work. You still got to get up.
I had the surgery last Friday, and this was my decision. Like, I wanted to go do normal things, but I went on a trip on Monday. So, like, I mean, luckily it was a trip that was with family. Mimi went with me, and, it was a Mackenzie Child's trip, so it was very relaxing, and it was good to be around people. But, like, life doesn't stop just because you're in this traumatic season. Like, that's what we were talking about too. Like, the biggest lesson in all of this is, like, you just never know what someone's going through. Like, people have messaged me and said, like, isn't blogging your job? Like, why haven't you posted? And I'm like, well, you know what, sometimes things happen, and we are lucky that we work for ourselves and have been able to take some time. I mean, we've been working, but also I've been sick and laying on the couch for days. Like, the last thing you want to do is go take pictures when you're depressed, quite frankly. Like,
it just kind of shows you that you never know what someone's going through. Like, I mean, me working at the barbershop for 2 years, like, I was a familiar face to a lot of guys that came in there, every 2-3 weeks, and I'd see the same people, and some days I see them happy, some days I see them sad, and, like, no matter what, I always just tried to put on a smile for these people, because, just that one friendly face, one smile might bring a positive attitude to your whole day.
Well, and even people, like random people on Instagram, friends who don't know what's going on, like, just checking on me, like, that makes such a big difference. Like, you just makes you not, because this whole experience, even though I have the best family and friends and husband and
you've got an
support system, like, truly, that I could ask for, it's a very, like, isolating experience, because at the end of the day, like, we're the only ones going through it, and, like, even though someone else has gone through it, it doesn't...
Like, all the sorries in the world don't make it any better. I mean, it's awesome to feel the love and support from everyone that cares about you, but it's just something that we've had to process on our own. Like, it's just nothing makes it better.
And, like, even though it is an isolating experience, like, it's been amazing that, like, I mean, I could name 5 friends off the top of my head who have just, like, even if I don't even text back, just, like, tell me they're thinking of me, or
send
ask what they can do.
I
mean, it's just really, like, those little things, even when the person who's going through it may not show that it helps, like, it really does. And it's definitely taught me a lot about, being there for other people, and, just, like, you never know what anyone's going through. But,
and it's like, they explain the options of everything, and none of it's foolproof. I mean, there's problems and complications that can come from anything. Go into that. And
so I had the surgery last Friday.
A week later.
I mean, I don't know if we should explain what the surgery is. I mean, they just go in and
basically remove
the tissue. and with the surgery, there's a risk that not everything will be removed. So I got home. So no, on my trip, I mean, it's TMI, but like I didn't have any. I had like very little bleeding after the surgery, and then on the trip, like I started to have a lot of bleeding and like pretty severe pain. So I let my doctor know, and then I came home and
You're like passing blood clots, like all that kind of stuff.
So went in for another ultrasound, and basically they confirmed that like not all the tissue is removed. So basically, like my body still thinks I'm pregnant right now. So I mean,
well, you ended up having to take the
I ended
medicine
up having
anyway.
to take the medicine that speeds up the natural process of miscarriage, which
basically causes contractions and causes your body just to.
So that I took that 2 nights ago. I've been so sick for the past 2 days. But today I finally kind of feel like myself. I only have makeup and stuff on because it's Easter
Sunday, by the way.
So this has not been my reality lately. I've been looking a little rough. But yeah, so even though I had that surgery, you know, hoping to move on and just kind of look towards the future, it didn't go.
It's not, you think everything, like, you go through so much, right? And we've been through this whole process. You think it's going to be one way. It's not. You think it's going to get better. It doesn't. You think that, you know, the answers and the surgery, it's going to change everything in your mindset, and you're just going to kind of be able to get past everything. Because, I mean, it's, at the end of the day, you've got to get past it, right? You got to get back to feeling like yourself and doing your normal life and preparing to try again at some point. But it's just, there's no right or wrong answer to anything. It's like you can spend all night Googling these things, and it's just like there's no true answer that's a yes or no. Like, you know, half the women say they've been through this and it was easy and great. Half the women say, you know, I went through these complications.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time on Google in the past few months.
And it's just like, I feel like it's just kind of like a never-ending thing. Mm-hmm. And like she said, it feels like it's been 6 months we've been going through this. It's like every day, it's just, when things just aren't getting better, it just feels like it never will.
Yeah.
But we're finally to the point where...
Well, so hopefully, I mean, we're still in the thick of it, technically. I have an ultrasound on Monday to confirm that all the tissue is passed to make sure I don't have to have the surgery again.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now. I wish this video had a little more, you know, advice or positivity or, you know, at the end, but this is just where we are right now, and I hope that
what's been going on.
Yeah, I hope that one day we'll be able to look back at this video and like see how brokenhearted we were and just see the reason in it, because right now I'm a really positive person, and I'm always telling my friends to be positive, but like this has been like for sure the hardest thing we've ever had to go through, and yeah, so I just hope that one day we'll look back and it'll all make sense. Mm-hmm. And I feel that, like, as hard as it is to believe right now, I feel that there definitely was a reason for it, if only to show us that, like, we're ready for that chapter, because it definitely got us there.
We didn't think we were ready for a kid, and we weren't ready to try, and it was like, when we found out, it was the greatest news ever. I mean, there's nothing that's been more exciting in our lives, and then within a 3-4 week span, there's nothing that's been more devastating. But you know, we've been through the worst of the worst, and try again.
And like my doctor was great in like explaining to me. So basically, this happened, you know, towards the beginning, which, you know, most of the time could mean that it's just a chromosomal abnormality, and it's your body's way of stopping the pregnancy because something's not going to be right with that baby. So I'm moving forward with the hope that it's not going to happen again. I guess moving forward, the things we're working on is just my health and making me get back to normal, because I just haven't. I mean, I've been so nauseous, so I haven't been eating like I normally do. I haven't been able to work out in 2 months, which is very unlike me.
Mm-hmm. Well, just mental health wise, doing your normal routine and those kind of things.
Spent a lot of time on this couch right here.
Like, we
watched
travel
about
a lot, but
7 seasons of different shows.
And traveling a lot, it's hard to stay in your normal routine, but you know, and we love to travel, but we also, towards the end of our trips, we look forward to coming home and doing the laundry and doing the dishes and cooking at home and going to work out and spending time with our dogs and our family and our friends. And, it's nice to get back to that, normal life.
And we just haven't been able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a lot of takeout and TV.
It also kind of just makes you realize, like, how important your friends and family are. Like, I mean, coming out of, like, the whole Christmas season and it's been cold, like, we spent a lot more time with our family then. And, like, then we went into this phase of traveling and busy, and it just, like, our family was still there no matter what, right?
Yeah, so,
like,
I mean, that's what I was going to say. So we're going to focus on our blessings and all the things that we do have, because it's really easy right now to focus on the one thing that we don't have. So we're just going to trust that that's going to happen when it's supposed to, and focus on all the amazing things and blessings that we do have in our lives, and getting me healthy and back to normal, and just remembering this lesson that, like, you never know what someone's going through. Like, some of my closest friends still don't even know what's been happening, and it's hard.
this will be a shock to a lot of people to see this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been hard to be around people when your whole world is basically crashing down and people don't even know about it. Like, that's what's hard about losing a pregnancy before you even announce it, is like you're losing something that most people don't even know you had. So it's just like this really weird limbo where we have this amazing community, but we also feel really alone. And
not to mention not even being able to be around people because you just feel so bad. Like,
yeah, I mean, I've
like
missed
physically
countless
sick.
birthday parties and events, and I mean, in hindsight, I know that it's not that big of a deal. I need to take care of myself, but it's hard when people don't even know why you're not showing up for them or what's going on in your life. And yeah, it's just a huge lesson to always show kindness.
At the end of it all, it's like you never know what someone's going through. And also, don't forget to, like, I feel like people don't talk about their problems and the things that are getting them down. And, like, that's been the biggest thing to us, is being able to, like, openly talk to our parents about what's going on and how we feel, and talk to each other about it, and like, share your problems and share your frustrations and your sadness, because people are there for you, and people have been through the same thing, and people might be going through the same thing as you at the same time. And
I feel like miscarriage used to be such a, I don't want to say taboo, but, like, not talked about topic. And I definitely have seen more people open up about it the past few years, but, like, there's still people that I would have no idea have had miscarriages. Multiple, yeah. And since going through this and talking to people, like, so many other women, people close to me have shared that, and it's just, like, so crazy to think that people go through this alone, because it's hard. And, like, I just keep reminding myself too, like my mom had a miscarriage before me, so I don't think I would be here without that. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be here because they only had one kid. So it's just, as hard as it's been, like, I really am trying to find the silver linings in it all, and I think that one day it'll all make sense. I hope that one day it'll all make sense.
I believe that God won't put us through something that we can't get through, right? And it's all for a reason. So
yeah, we just wanted to share all this with y'all. Y'all are my community and my people and my friends, and it's been really hard on me. I just feel very distant, and I love to share, good and bad, but this has been, like, by far the hardest thing we've ever had to go through. And also just want to share that if any of you guys have dealt with or are going through a similar situation, like, we're right there with you, and
don't hesitate to talk about it, like this right here. Us talking to you about this.
It's like our therapy.
Yeah, it's part of us healing through this process. Like, we've been talking to our families and friends about it. It's you've got to talk about it to heal. So.
And yeah, so we'll keep y'all updated on the rest of this journey. We're moving forward. We're just focusing on health and being thankful for our blessings, and just preparing for the next phase of our lives.
Now we go watch Game of Thrones.
Thanks for watching.